Hey folks, Mark from Safe Events here. Bit of a slightly different video today. Not actually doing a 2-minute thought. This is probably going to take a bit more than 2 minutes. But what I wanted to do on foot of a couple of conversations I've had lately, as well as a post on LinkedIn around emergency grab bags. A good few people expressed an interest in knowing what we use them for, what stuff is in the bag and that kind of thing. So I said I'd do a quick video around the grab bags that we use. Again, it's important to know it's a horses for courses thing. So the contents of the grab bag in a lot of ways is dictated by the event you're on, the requirements of that event, the needs you might have, the things you think might arise. So the contents can change. With that said, there are some fairly standard items we tend to have in our grab bags that I was going to share with you just to kind of get things going and give you an insight. First of all, the bag itself, you can see it here. These are the bags we use. We have others, but these are the ones we use most often. Heavy duty bag, waterproof, good for outdoors, high vis, lots of internal and external pockets. Good capacity in those bags. You can put a lot of stuff in them. They still roll up nice and tight. And again, you can deploy them outdoors. That particular bag and most of this content I'm about to show you is from an event we do every winter. We deploy 6 of these bags outdoors around an event site, and they form a critical part of our emergency plan for that particular event. I've gone as far as to say for that particular event, I wouldn't be comfortable operating the emergency plan without these bags in place. So it's definitely fair to say they're critical on some events. They might be overkill on other events, but maybe there's something worth considering and having available. So to get into the contents, on this one, again, contents will change slightly from event to event, but on this one, we have what I think are fairly standard contents. I think in all our grab bags for all our events that we deploy them on, all of this stuff is probably in there, and then maybe there's more stuff beyond that. So first thing, first aid kit. Standard, decent size first aid kit, well stocked, I hope. Yeah, well stocked. Again, the thing with the grab bags as well is you got to make sure to replenish stock if you use anything. Got to make sure, every time you deploy them that they're fully stocked, ready to go. The event I'm talking about that we use these ones on, it's 50 plus nights, pretty much consecutively. So we check them every afternoon before we deploy them. We check them when they come back in. We make sure everything is there and we have spares of stuff. Next thing, foil blankets. We're all familiar with those. For this event, we have about 30 of these inside in those bags. Again, it's an outdoor event. It's late in the evening. So we're conscious that there may be a requirement to have some foil blankets available. Again, you wouldn't use these too often. If ever, they last a long time. You can stock up in these relatively cheaply and have them available for your grab bags. Next thing we do is mobile phone and a charger. You can probably see that there. I hope you can. So again, that's an Alcatel phone. Most of ours are very simple Nokias. Great battery life. Battery charger with them. Again, we have a system where every few days there's a rota and we switch out these, we swap them, we recharge, and we do all that kind of thing. Again, they're contained within their own quality waterproof bag in case water gets into the main bag or someone was to tamper with it, leave it open and water could get in. So we put them in their own quality waterproof bag within the main grab bag. Again, on an event, we would have the event control phone number programmed in here, any other critical phone numbers, keypad lock turned off, PIN turned off. So if someone gets at this phone in an emergency, it is usable. Obviously, we keep track of all the numbers for the individual phones. If a call comes in from one of them, we know which bag, which location, all that kind of thing. All the critical element of using these properly. So again, phone, power bank, and the relevant cable in there as well. The next thing, one of the biggest things that goes in, megaphone. We, again, on this particular event, outdoors, broad scope on this site, very large. other noises at play. So you won't always be able to hear a megaphone depending on where you are. So each of these 6 grab bags on this event has a megaphone. Again, once you're into megaphones, you're into batteries. So again, we check the batteries before they're deployed. We make sure everything's working. There are spare batteries in the bag. We have other batteries there as well, smaller ones. So there's spare batteries within the bag for anything in the bag that would need batteries. So again, just in case you get caught out, you're erring on the side of caution all the time here. It's an emergency bag. You may never need it, but you want it to be as well stocked as possible. So spare batteries, always a critical thing to have in there for us. A multi-tool, Leatherman multi-tool. Again, always very, very handy. You never know what you'll need. You'll never know what tool you might need. So we put quality Leatherman in each of these bags. Again, there's always a risk that these things walk. They haven't on us. We deploy them quite well. We manage and control them quite well. And considering it's an emergency bag and considering how important they are, we don't mind spending on quality gear to have in them. If the stuff was disappearing all the time, we'd probably have to review that. But Leatherman multi-tool is in there. Lenser torch, again, I think that's the P7. Decent torch. Again, checking batteries, spare batteries in the bag, all of that. This particular event, like I said, late in the evening, winter time, darkness is a factor. So we make sure to have a good Lenser torch in there and spare batteries. As well as the handheld torch, we also have head torches. So a good Lenser again, head torch. Again, oftentimes you need light, but you need your hands free to be available to deal with a situation or do something else. So that's always in there for us as well. What else have we got? Cable ties, of course. Need I say more? We'll always have cable ties in a grab bag. You'll never know what they'll be useful for. And in any event, even outside of emergencies, it's good to know that we have cable ties close by to various locations around the site should we need them in a hurry. Rolls of insulating tape, again, just put them in a Ziploc bag, that kind of thing, nothing fancy. Various colored tapes. Again, we use them for a variety of functions. Could be an emergency situation, but possibly not. Again, just good to have close by and available. Again, heavy duty tape, always in there. Hazard tape as well. Just handy stuff that might be of use in a variety of situations. We'll always have a few high-vis vests. Again, depending on the bag, depending on the situation, dictates how many of those we have in there. Unbranded, just something that gives them high visibility if we need to deploy them. Sometimes we'll have these specifically branded or badged. So if we spot them on site, we'll know 100% where that came from. And for instance, we might wonder why someone's wearing it, considering it's from a grab bag. So it could be our first alert to something being wrong and a grab bag having been accessed. That's mostly it. We'll always have food and water, always variations of food. Tend to have protein bars, chocolate, jellies, that kind of stuff. Water, we'll often have fizzy drinks, Lucozade, that kind of thing in there as well, just to help deal with certain types of situations. They're the basics for us. I mean, we've had bags where we have other stuff in them, but they're always kind of maybe solid features in the bag. We'd often have, we'd add Sharpies and stuff in there as well. So a lot of the common stuff, a lot of us probably have in our event bags. That's the basics, all there for good reasons. Luckily, we've never had to deploy an emergency grab bag in anger, as they say, but we've definitely on site dipped in and dipped out of them and used bits, and we're glad to have them close. So, like I said, worth considering for your event. Could be overkill for some events. On this particular event I've pulled this bag from, it is definitely a critical element of our emergency plans for it. So that's how important it can be sometimes. I would say for the majority of our events, they lie somewhere in the middle. Not overkill, not critical, but we tend to deploy them, we tend to use them, we tend to have various bits of equipment quite close by. Again, if we can put them somewhere that's safe, that's accessible to staff, maybe it's back of house, again, you add it onto a grid reference map so all the key personnel know where these bags are. They know where they can access stuff without, having to carry it all themselves. So just a quick look into one of our grab bags. A lot of people were looking for this, so I said I'd do it and just maybe kickstart a conversation. Let me know if any of this stuff makes sense. Let me know what else you might add into it or what you have in your bags. And quite happy to do more videos like this and kind of talk through how we do stuff. It's not 100% right. It's not 100% wrong. You might have a better idea. Please share it. The reason for doing this type of thing is just to share experience and to share ideas with people and for us all to learn from one another. So I hope it's been useful, and I'll talk to you soon. Please stay safe.